All right, hi. We're going to be talking about the Shirley assignment, the grammar assignment, I should say, for Tuesday, tomorrow, that's on the grid. The assignment is actually in the practice booklet. It's on page 2. I've made a copy of it just because I don't want to write in my original, but it is that practice booklet. If you want to, in the teacher's manual, the sentence flow is what they call it, that I will be using. I'm going to hold this up. It's on page 32 for this first section we're going to be doing, and it's on page 38 for the second section. So if you want to see what I'm saying, or if you want to look back at it later, you're more than welcome to do that. So we're going to go through it, just slowly, which is nice. We can do that since we're not in class, but we're going to go through the process of classifying these sentences. We've done it in class a few times, but I know we need to keep practicing that so you can get to the point where you're kind of up to where the other kids who have been doing this for a while, they've done this for years. So this is kind of old to them, but it's new to us, and I know it's strange and confusing at first, but it gets better. So let's just go ahead and start. So we're on number 1. The boastful salesman spoke rather arrogantly. Okay, so that's our sentence. The first thing we do when we're trying to classify a sentence is just ask the question, who spoke rather arrogantly? Who is the sentence about? Who spoke arrogantly? The salesman. I'm sorry, I'm reading backwards. It's so hard to do that. But salesman. Salesman spoke rather arrogantly. So that's our subject noun. So above that we write subject noun. SN. Then what is being said about the salesman? That's how we find our verb. What's being said? What's being said about the salesman? Salesman spoke. Then, since we've just done our verb, we're going to work with the verb section of the sentence. So we would ask this kind of our adverb questions, which our adverb questions are how, when, and where. So, spoke how? How did he speak? He spoke arrogantly. So that's an adverb. Then we have this word in here that we feel like, well, how arrogantly? Rather arrogantly. Since it's answering the question how, and it modifies another adverb, it is also an adverb. So we found our adverbs. Now we're moving back kind of to the noun section of the sentence. What kind of salesman? Boastful. So that's an adjective. Adjectives answers the question, what kind, which one, or how many. So if it's telling us what kind of salesman, then that would be an adjective. We've kind of discussed a little bit. It's just a special kind of adjective. We call it an article adjective. And that word, as you'll notice, is almost on every sentence. So you just know to put an A on that. It's kind of just a memory thing. There's no question to ask. So we find our subject noun first by asking who or what the sentence is about. We find our verb. What did the subject do? What is being said about the subject? Whatever's being said about the subject is the verb. Then all the words that kind of describe the verb or describe each other, those are generally our adverbs. Words that describe the noun are going to be our adjectives. So those questions that we have to ask tell us about the verbs and the nouns. And I know it all may not be fitting together in your brain just yet, and that's totally fine. But actually the best way to learn is just to practice doing it over and over. So the next the next sentence, the small foals pranced happily nearby. So we start, what pranced happily nearby? The foals. That's how we find our subject noun. So there's our subject noun. What is being said about foals? Foals pranced. That's what they did. So that's our verb. Then we ask, pranced how? Happily. Happily tells us how they pranced. So it's an adverb. And nearby, pranced where? Pranced nearby. That's another adverb because it answers the question where. Then we need to look at our words up at the front. Probably going to go with the noun. So, what kind of foals? Small. That would be an adjective. Sorry, I'm running out of room. Adjective. And then our word the, which is just an article adjective, we just put an A above it. So that's our second sentence. If you're not writing these down, if you'll go back and do them again and actually write them down on your paper as I show you what to write and talk you through it. I didn't say that at the beginning. I apologize, but it might be helpful, even if you didn't do it, to go back and go through those two sentences again. But you can stop it now or go back to the beginning and be sure that you're writing these down. All right, we're going to start with sentence number 3. The enormous rat ran quickly away. First question, what ran away quickly? I'm sorry, I read the words backwards. What ran away quickly? Rat, subject, noun. What is being said about rat? Rat ran, verb. Ran where? Away, adverb. Ran how? Quickly, adverb. So we've done our second half. Now we go back, because we haven't done these yet, to the words that describe the subject noun. What kind of rat? Enormous, adjective. And then our last word is the article adjective. That's all we need to say. So that's called the subject noun flow. And as you can see, once you're done doing that, you have labeled every single word in the sentence as to what kind of word it is, what part of speech it is. So once you get used to doing this, you can just fly through sentences and know exactly what every part of speech is. So let's just do this next section, and that's all you have to do for tonight. Make sure you're writing it down on your paper, in your booklet. Let me just turn to page 38 in case there's anything I need to catch, and it's a little easier to read the sentences from the paper in the book. The young musician often played too loudly. So, who often played too loudly? Musician. We only say the one word, not the whole sentence again. Musician. What is being said about musician? Now this is good. Musician played. We don't say musician often, even though that's the next word, because that doesn't tell us really what's being said about him. What's being said is that he played. So that's our verb. The words aren't always in the exact order of the way we ask the questions. So, who played? The musician. What's being said about the musician? The musician played. Now we would say, played when? Often. And that would be an adverb. Musician played how? Loudly. Adverb. How loudly? Too loudly. So that's another adverb. Okay, then what kind of musician? We still have some words left. A young musician. Adjective. When it answers the question, what kind? It's an adjective. And then again, we just say article adjective and write an A above it. So that's classifying sentence number 1. These spaces over here we'll do things with later. You don't have to worry about them right now. Okay, we've got 2 more sentences. The wild dogs growled viciously today. What growled viciously today? Dogs. That's our subject noun. What is being said about dogs? Dogs growled. That's our verb. Dogs growled how? Viciously. That's an adverb. ADV. Growled when? Today. Adverb. What kind of dogs? Wild. Adjective. And then again, the article, adjective. Okay, that's one more. Now we only have one more sentence to go, so that's great. The roaring engine quickly steamed away. What quickly steamed away? Engine. Subject, noun. What is being said about engine? Engine steamed. Quickly doesn't tell us what's being said. That's a different answer. What's being said? The engine steamed. You're looking for the action, or in some cases, state of being. Okay, so now we know engine steamed where? Away. Adverb. Engine steamed how? Quickly. Adverb. We've described the verb. Now we're moving up to where the subject noun is. So what kind of engine? Roaring. Adjective. And then the article, adjective. Okay. I wouldn't not expect you to be ready to do that by yourself, but as we go through these, and I'll continue making videos until you get to that point, and pretty soon you'll just be whipping through them like you've been doing it since kindergarten. So, well, first grade, they don't start in kindergarten. Eventually you'll get there and it'll be just fine. So everybody starts being led through it by the teacher and in the class setting. But since we're not starting at the same point, I'll keep doing the videos until I can tell that we're ready to move on without them. So you should have your grammar homework done at the end of this video, and then you can turn that in and it'll be graded just fine, because we're working on the level where we need to for right now. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you in class on Wednesday. All right, thanks.